Welcome to our kickoff episode of Restaurantology 2026. This is a special edition for us, and I gave it an appropriate title for us, and it is The Next Chapter at Savory. This is one of the most important announcements in Savory's history. And I want to be very clear from the beginning that we're not changing anything. We're not changing direction. We're actually accelerating. And today we have a major announcement. First, we are promoting my partner and co-founder, Shauna Smith, to managing director of Savory Fund. And second, we are welcoming an industry veteran and proven builder, Klay Dover, as our new chief executive officer to lead our platform and to support our brands through the next phase of growth. Welcome.
Thank you.
So excited to have you
Klay.
here.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We're so happy you're here.
Double congratulations to the two of you.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
it's a double win.
yeah, it's a double win for us. It's definitely two major announcements. It's one unified strategy here between the three of us. And we're excited. We're excited to have you here with us, Klay. We know that this was a big decision for you. It was a big decision for us. And I really wanted to start with Shauna, since we think about all of the years that we've been in this industry, Shauna, you and I, and we go back to the early days of Savory. What makes you most proud of what we've accomplished here at Savory?
At Savory, well, when I think about 8 years of Savory, we've been doing this now for 8 years. And before that, I was just an operator of brands in, I think we had 150 units in about 8 states. And there was this moment, it was like a burn the ships moment, where we decided we're going to sell all of these restaurants and start our own private equity fund. And that's what we did 8 years ago. And that's when I was named CEO and in this seat. So much has happened in between then and now. I to say what I'm most proud of, I would say it always goes back to the people. The people are the best part, the highlight.
For sure.
And I've said this before many times, but we talk about our why a lot here. And our why back in the day, and starting in 2008, was creating jobs and creating opportunity. And it continues to be. So I would say that's my biggest highlight. 10,000 jobs I think we've created over these 8 years. And then I had to put down some stats. We now have 13 brands, 3 funds. We've raised over, I think, $500 million. And then now we're at 370 restaurants in 25 states. It's pretty remarkable.
Just a little bit of growth.
So
amazing.
I mean, that's a lot of job creation. That's a lot of opportunity creation. And that's the stuff that really keeps me going.
Yeah, it's crazy. When we blink, it's happened really, really fast. Although if you think about the last 8 years of Savory, I feel like the lifetime before Savory, it feels like a different chapter of our lives.
Oh,
Totally.
yeah, like a totally
Because we
different life.
were in the throes of operating restaurants on a daily basis, you and I. And our teams that were with us then, many of them are still here with us here at Savory, which is something that we hold very dear to the team and to the name Savory, and to what we do on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to keep a lot of those team members here with us in the future as well. Talk to me about when you had the first idea, at least, of replacing yourself. Like, when did that happen? I can say that I was there. So I remember when you had that conversation with me, it was like, okay, hold on a second. Say that again. I need to hear that one more time.
Even when I told you, it had been in my mind for a couple months already.
Which I wish I could have read your mind, because I didn't know that it was in your mind.
I know.
So
I know.
go ahead and tell us when it was like the first idea of replacing yourself.
So this year, 2025, I choose a word of the year instead of, I do set goals. I do. But I set a word of the year that is kind of my theme for the year. And I filter all decisions. I push myself through that word of the year. And 25 was elevate. And so I started thinking at the beginning of the year, how do I elevate myself personally? How do I elevate the Savory team, our practices, our performance, and all of that? And, got real cute with KPIs and all that. But we talk a lot about intellectual honesty here at Savory. And I don't think I would have been very intellectually honest if I didn't actually think about myself. And part of the intellectual honesty is self-awareness. And so thinking about my role and how we're doing here at Savory. And Savory was then and still is in a great place, but it was just an opportunity to think about what could be better. And as I started entertaining that, I started really thinking about the founder CEO versus the executive CEO. And the founder CEO is the one that is the fire starter. They're the original visionary. They're the ones that put in the late nights and the long days. They put in that time. They built the team. They got it to where it is now. But then there's the executive CEO that comes in with a proven playbook, who comes in with skills that maybe that founder CEO it could be better. And also comes in with fresh eyes and fresh perspective. That proven playbook always has the ability to up-level team performance and so many elements of that. So as I started thinking about founder versus executive CEO, I started thinking about, well, who would that person even be? I had one name in mind, one. And I was like, this guy will never leave what he's currently doing. I already knew that. We'd had many conversations before that. And so I was like, it's never going to happen. So I kind of filed that away until we got a call that was just like, hey, I'm just talking about what my future looks like. And the moment moment I heard that, I was like, Andrew, I need to tell you this crazy wild thought.
Let's go ahead and just pull the
having.
curtain back just a little bit. So I have a call with Klay, and Clay's telling me, he's like, I'm thinking about maybe making a change. And I'm like, wow, that's cool. And he's like, is there maybe some opportunity we could work together? And I'm like, well, yeah, I've always wanted to work with you. And so I remember walking into our bedroom, and
it was a late night call.
It was a late
night
call.
Friendly call.
Right?
Yeah.
And I said to Shauna, I said, yeah, Klay might be leaving Velvet Taco, might be looking at doing something different. And she like shut up in bed. And she's like, hold on a second. Let me just tell you a little bit of a thought that I had.
No, I was like, I don't know if this is the universe telling me that this is the thing we need to do, but let me just tell you these thoughts that have been bumbling around in my brain for almost 2 months at that point.
So what happened from there then? We of course invited Klay up from Dallas because Clay's been in Dallas for a while. And
we've taken this very slow. Obviously, Velvet Taco is an incredible brand, and
it's one of our faves.
It is. It's one of our favorites, and didn't want to do anything that would disturb the great work that Klay had done, but just started the conversation of what's next. Let's entertain this, and thinking about that and having conversations and seeing, how I wanted to understand how Klay sees the world and how he feels about the team and people and work and all of that. And so just really got to know Klay over a long period of time. And yeah, it's been good.
Yeah.
Overall.
Tell me.
We're here, so obviously it's been good.
Those talks went well.
It has gone very well. The talks have gone well. Tell me what excites you the most to work with Klay.
To learn from Klay. I think that's what I'm most excited about. There's so many components of things we've talked about where I'm asking him questions and picking his brain already. And I'm sorry to use that term. I know that's like a terrible term, picking brains. Yeah. But Klay has so much great experience. So I'm most excited about learning from Klay and to see the world through Klay's eyes. I mean, you only get fresh eyes once. And so I'm excited to see what Klay sees and what our opportunities are, because I know I know we have opportunities here at Savory. I can say we're doing great, but there's so many things that could be better. And that's where Klay comes in. And I keep saying about Klay that he is going to be a force multiplier. That is what Klay is going to do. That's how, it's the Steve Jobs approach. He would take something that was proposed to him and he would overlay his vision on it. And then it became even that much better. And that's what Klay's going to do here.
Oh my gosh.
The pressure's on.
No pressure,
No
Klay.
pressure there.
No, I feel the same way though. As far as a force multiplier though, I think about all the people that we have around the table here at Savory now. And like you said, Savory's in a great place. We're doing great things still now. But I always feel like having, outside eyes. We put together a board of advisors to Savory this last year, and we had our first meeting at the end of last quarter. And man, we all left that meeting and we were just like, man, that was so great to just get other people's perspectives on things, because you're so close to things sometimes in your business, in your firm, that's nice just to have some outside eyes come in. So we're really excited about that with Klay, you joining us. One of the things that I want to make sure that we are clear about though here at Savory is that this is a promotion for Shauna. This is not a transition in any way. And one of the things that's really cool, especially in the private equity world, there's 10,000 private equity firms and VC funds in America, and less than 5% of them have managing directors as women, number one. And two, less than 4% were actually co-founded by women. So Shauna was a co-founder of Savory, still is a co-founder, is my partner, and we're just excited to have her in the seat of managing director, still working on portfolio construction, really managing the focus of the actual performance of the portfolio brands, working with the leadership, and really working hand in hand with you, Klay, on the execution of the portfolio and the vision that we have for each brand.
Which
So
I'm
super
excited about.
Yeah,
very
it's
excited
very
about
exciting.
that.
I wouldn't have done it any other way. I mean, the fact that Shauna is here and can transition and all the knowledge that exists there for 8+ years to have a founder, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, it's a huge advantage to have versus being thrown into the deep end, which is usually the case. As a CEO that comes in, it's generally a distressed opportunity or, hey, here you go. Here's the keys. We'll check in with you quarterly.
Yeah.
This is a very unique opportunity where the predecessor is here, you're here. Like it's a perfect scenario. So
yeah, it's a good point you
awesome.
make too. When you go in to be a CEO of a company, there's all these high expectations from the board of that one CEO, and it's different for you. And I've never done it, so it's going to be fun for me to watch how you do it, because I think it would be very, very hard, but also very exciting to come into a company where I've said this before. It's like a speeding bullet train, right? There's just a ton going on already, but to have someone as well versed as you, with your experience in your playbook, Klay, to be able to jump on that speeding bullet train and be able to apply things that you've learned throughout your career immediately. That's very, very unique, right? If we were to add a lot of people here at the firm or even in our brands, a lot of times those people have to speed up to that train moving. And they can't add a lot for the first 6-12 months. You know that when you add an executive to a company, it's like, well, I'm not going to get much out of them for 3 to 6-12 months. We just are excited. The first week, we're already like, well, we should probably have Klay look at that, because I'm sure he's going to have something to say about that, because you have that proven playbook. I'm really excited about having you here as well, because I think that you have a really good sense of when to invest and when to pause and perfect. You've been part of brands where you lace on the fuel. There's times you have to pull off the fuel, push the brake a little bit, and perfect a brand. And that's part of portfolio construction in a private equity firm. We have brands right now that it's like, wow, we've added a lot of growth. We've got to pause and perfect. And for some people think that it's just growth. And for Shauna and I, and for the Savory team, we know when to invest and when to slow down. And we feel like you have those abilities and that skill set as well. And the thing I'm really excited about, because we've built so many restaurants, we've built hundreds of restaurants across America. So have you. It's a skill set that you can't get unless you've done it, right? Like real estate's a definite skill set that's completely separate than just running a restaurant. And to pick real estate, to develop it out, to get good cash and cash metrics on investments, that's something that's a skill set that's hard to find, and you've got it. And I'm really, really excited about that as well.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I mean, thank you. First of all, I'm humbled and extremely grateful to be part of the team. And this is a winning organization. This is a class act. And, I look at this, I always think of like a head coach of a pro team. Like, wow, there's only 30 NBA head coaching jobs. There's less than that of a company like this. I mean, this is a lifetime opportunity, and I look at that. So I appreciate the opportunity, and I'm super excited and can't wait to get started.
Yeah. So let's jump into your background then too, because when people say, well, why is that a match? And why have we looked at you in your career and said, we like what we see and we want that to be applied, to the Savory portfolio and to the Savory team? Tell us just a quick high-level background, because your background really is unique. You've not only been in the restaurant industry, like a lot of people start off in the restaurant industry, whether it's in high school or college, like we all did, having a busing job or dishwashing or cook like I was at Olive Garden. But at the end of the day, you've been in early, but you've also been in the leadership roles early on too. So give us a quick, for the listeners that don't know your background.
Yeah, I mean, look, I started as a busboy at 15, put myself through college waiting tables, was in restaurant management, worked for big corporations like Chili's, jumped on the corporate side in a marketing role. My degree is in marketing, was an executive early on in my early years. I was made CEO of a more than $1 billion company at the age of 36. Thought that that's what I wanted to do. And along came a founder that had 60 restaurants, a little company called Raising Cane's. Todd Graves said, join me in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and we're going to build a brand. And so at a very young age, I joined over as president and CMO of Raising Cane's. I learned a ton. I thought for sure I was going to walk in and teach them all about running a company, and instead they taught me. So I learned all about discipline. I learned about culture. I learned about brand. And I get goosebumps now just thinking about it.
Because of what it's become too. I mean, you were part of that early
Yeah,
stage.
no, it
of
was
that
62
business.
restaurants. It was
And it's
62
now
restaurants.
1,000 plus.
1,000 restaurants.
Wow.
Look, it'll have restaurants all over the world.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the mission and the vision early on. And Todd is still a friend now.
I want to know though, was Kane ever involved?
The dog?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've got pictures with my kids at his house with the dog.
With Kane. Okay.
Kane too. I mean, they're on like the
Kane was
fourth
there.
version.
Yeah, yeah.
But, oh, yeah, no. I mean,
you have to tell real quick the story. You come into the airport though, because it's hilarious with Kane.
I told you that story.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, look, I knew Todd. We were friends through the industry. I was running 750 restaurants, multi-brands. He would go to these conferences with his backpack, and he would talk to people, and he was just starting his concept, and 60 restaurants, and we would text each other, and he said, hey, I want to build this brand, and I was very disillusioned with corporate. I was working for a private equity group, some legacy brands. And he said, well, why don't you come out to Baton Rouge and spend the weekend at my house? I didn't think anything of this,
but you said yes.
I said, sure. And he said, I'll pick you up at the airport in Baton Rouge. I'd never been to Baton Rouge. He said, I'll meet you at the front. I said, well, what terminal? He said, I'll just pick you up at the front.
It's Baton Rouge.
It's Baton Rouge. There were 4 terminals at the time. Pulled up. He says, I'll be in the black Suburban, and Kane was in the front seat. So I got in the back seat. I didn't know. Like, this is the namesake to the brand. He said, what are you doing? And I said, I don't know. He said, get in the front. Told Kane, get in the back. And so we started driving, and we started talking about the brands. And I was like, wow, like, he's like, I just did this show, Secret Millionaire, and I want to grow these brands, and I don't know what to do. And I said, I guess you're a millionaire, aren't you? I mean, he's so down to earth, and just, at that point, he's just like, look, we're trying to build a brand, and I want your help. And so we spent the weekend kind of mapping it out,
yeah,
whiteboarding it out, and spent
it's so fun.
A couple of nights, and we just kind of mapped it out. And I joined as the president CMO and laid out the foundation of what today is. Yeah, I mean, look, they've got an amazing team, but
amazing.
But yeah, I spent 6.5 years there as the president and the CMO. Opened the restaurant support office in Dallas, and learned a ton. Look, I learned so much about not only culture but discipline. I mean, that company is extremely disciplined.
Yeah, they are. Above all, I mean, they're disciplined, because even others that are super disciplined have started to lose their way a little bit, and they're starting to add more, make it more complex, chasing dollars.
Yeah.
And Raising Cane's, man, they stay true.
Stay true.
Yeah.
Does that menu discipline translate to other things?
Yeah, everything. I mean, me wearing a logo, I mean, you will generally see me in a logo all the time. I picked that up from Raising Cane's. I mean, they're so disciplined. The shoes were slip resistant so that you could go in a restaurant at any given time. I mean, it was so, and we merged Dallas and Baton Rouge together, and I and the team, like, there's a ton of people that were all part of it. We had to merge that together and determine what would set that out as we grew exponentially. We took almost a year and opened 2 restaurants the first year, and then after that, it was just off to the races. And again, this is 2008. So this is a financial crisis during that time. I mean, it was not the greatest of times, but never had negative sales. Look, they're amazing. And
it's an amazing
brand.
It's something to aspire to be. Any brand looks at that and goes, that's what we want.
Yeah. But it really set kind of a basis and a track record for me of continually working with founders and private equity. That's the basis of my career, and that's really set.
So what pulled you away from Raising Cane's? Because it was such a great opportunity. I mean, obviously you had an idea of, I have more to learn. So you went. Yeah,
I went from there to Payway. I had equity that had vested.
Mm-hmm.
I had family that lived in Arizona. I had a vision of what Payway was and what it could be. Went to Payway and did a brand refresh in which we prepped the brand for a sale. My negotiation there was that I wanted ownership of culinary. I thought that culinary had gone a different way. And so we repositioned the brand and set it up for a sale to a different private equity group. Payway, in my mind, and I think that I was a little disillusioned from the Payway of the past probably when it first started with Paul Fleming and some of the original, like it was the first fast casual restaurant with open walks and flames. And
I liked it. We went there all the time.
I remember taking my kids there and just like, wow, they were staring at the glass. And so it was great. It was able to really expand, went over to Asia, came up with some new flavors, repositioned the menu with some real talented folks from the Culinary Edge and positioned the brand for a sale. Enjoyed living in Arizona for a couple of years. And then I got a call from a founder out of Dallas, Randy DeWitt. And he says, I've got a brand, Velvet Taco, which of course I knew living in Dallas. It was 4 units. And he said, I just sold to El Catterton, a private equity group, and I need someone to run it. And I said, okay, I've never done anything that small before. And he says, well, come out and meet with them. And
what was the intrigue the most at the beginning? I mean, 4 units, that's small, right? It's tiny. Great product. Obviously, you saw the lines around that building, so you know it was hot.
I went on my own dime. I didn't tell them. I actually went and sat in a restaurant for a weekend. One not that I was, so there was in Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, and one proof of concept in Chicago. I went and sat in one unbeknownst to them and just watched, and it was amazing. I went from a 200 unit payway, in which I was the number 2 guy and was, trying to beg, borrow, and steal people to get in there. And I went to this 4 unit, and people were pulling their friends in and explaining them, like, look at this brand and try this food. And the people were excited. The restaurant was open until 4 a.m. in the morning, and it was packed. And I'm just like, there's something here. There is some magic here. And met with the El Catterton guys. It was in the growth concept, and they just said, look, we just want to grow. That's all we want to do. We want to grow it. We'd love to have a transaction in 5 years is our goal. And they said, here's the keys. Didn't have anything. I
mean, literally 4 units. You have nothing
no
above
support.
store. Yeah.
No support. It was just, here you go. So
very different coming from Payway, full office team,
full
staff,
team.
support.
I mean, even Raising Cane's. Cane's, we built out a giant infrastructure to build out. When I left Raising Cane's, I joined at 62, left at 232. With, a massive support structure. So I went totally opposite direction, but really got to enjoy getting back in restaurants.
Yeah.
I've got scars, unfortunately, from not wearing cutting gloves, dropping.
We've all made that mistake.
Yeah, we've all made that mistake. But like back into restaurants. Look, restaurants change lives. When you look at what restaurants are, it's a fabric of our lives. You meet family
whether you work there or not.
No,
you're in them all the time.
Restaurants are part of our everyday lives. Friends, family, business, regardless. It's just part of who we are.
Yep.
When you say, let's get together, it's like, all right, where are we going to eat? What do you want to do? Do you want to grab food? Do you want to meet somewhere? It's just part of who we are nowadays. And so it continues to be more and more important. And whether you work there, whether it's part of or your everyday, like you said, whether you eat there, it's just restaurants are ingrained into our lives. And so that's what's special about our industry. We provide food. It's one of the basic necessities.
It's a staple.
It's a staple. And so, that's the magic of our industry. And that's what Velvet Taco allowed. I got back into it. I sold my fancy Mercedes and got a 4Runner and drove around to restaurants because I didn't want to be rolling up into restaurants
in a Mercedes.
And so, and just started laying out a strategy, whiteboarded it out, got a desk once we started opening restaurants, but I worked out of the restaurants. Once we started opening a few restaurants, we started building out of a WeWork, had WeWork for several years.
Yeah. That's the right way to do it.
And just as we needed to add staff and added resources, we would grow. Built out to 30 restaurants, and 5 years and one day later, we had a transaction to another private equity group.
5 years and one day, was it?
5 years and one day. I like to remind them.
That's executing your whiteboard right there.
5 years. I have a picture that I sent to Randy DeWitt and Jack Gibbons, the front burner guys, great restaurateurs out of Dallas. They're awesome.
Amazing.
They're one of the best.
Yeah, one of the best.
One of the great idea guys out of Dallas. They come up with amazing concepts. Look, Velvet Taco was an amazing concept and is and continues to
still
be
today
an amazing concept and will continue to be amazing with great people, great leaders in it. And they had a great idea. There is a difference between, creating an idea and scaling it.
Yeah.
And, having the discipline to be able to scale sometimes is a different skill set.
Yeah, it is.
And so that's what we did. And, it takes discipline. It takes, knowing when to, like you said, when to accelerate and when to back off. And look, we made mistakes. There's a little thing called COVID right in the middle of that. We accelerated
Just a little
during
thing.
that.
So did we, yeah.
I remember laying awake in bed at night, sweating because there were people's lives and, income on the line. And, were we going to make it?
Yeah.
That was a real question.
Well, we were all thinking the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, anyone in the industry at that time were going, man, are we going to make it? But we made some decisions and pushed forward, fought some battles and came out stronger. And so we had a transaction, 5 years and a day later.
And who bought it?
Leonard Green Partners, great private
LGP,
equity group.
Amazing.
Giant private equity group out of California.
Shake Shack investors.
Shake Shack original investors, great group.
Yeah.
Great
amazing
investors.
PE firm.
Yeah, great PE group.
Yeah.
Great partners, continued to grow, continued to invest, and are partners and majority owners today. So they're continually growing it and are great partners. And I spent 8.5 years there. Started with 4 restaurants and left at 54.
Just a little bit of growth.
A little bit of growth.
Yeah.
A CAGR of about 17, 18% every year, continued to grow. Airports, started in, a couple of states, and now because I'm still a shareholder, are in 9 states. International just opened in London. Airports, it's a great story.
So then what happened for you to say, okay, I'm on this trajectory where everything's going great, and it's a great brand that you took from 4 to 54, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing growth for us. That's what we try to do. We did it.
It's our sweet spot.
We just barely did that with Mo Betta's. We had done it prior to that with Swig. What pulled you to a different way of thinking, of doing something different?
I think when you look at it and you say, where can your impact be best felt, and where can you, give the most back? I looked at where my skill set and where can you make the most impact. And I started looking at, how long would I be at Velvet Taco, and, could it be forever? I mean, it could be. But I also felt like there were challenges that I wanted to take on. And I started talking to folks, including you. I looked at ways in which I could apply some of those learnings and quite frankly, wanted to be challenged. There are challenges that I wanted to look at and start to explore. And we had a conversation late at night, and you, as well as a few other folks that I knew and trusted in the industry, I started talking to and realized that there were lots of other things out there in the industry and some challenges. And look, this is a challenge. This is a unique company that you guys have built as founders. Savory has brought together a collection of brands and people and award-winning founders that you're not building a collection of companies. This is a community of founders. And when, look, we're having a conversation, and then you invited me and my wife, Rebecca, to come out, and we spent an afternoon chatting. And then Shauna hit me up with the opportunity, and I tried to keep a totally straight face because that was not what I was expecting. I think I was trying to stay as
I wish I would have taken the picture of your face, because that was awesome.
I was trying to stay as straight faced as possible because that was not what I was expecting. And it took some time after that as I kind of molded over and thought about it. But look, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. This is a career defining opportunity to take the learnings. I've been in the industry now for over 30 years. And to be able to take the learnings of both culture and discipline, and to apply all the things that have brought together and to impact 13 brands is huge.
Huge.
I mean, to be able to take it, not just in effect one brand, but 13 brands and
more to come,
potentially more to come, without stealing any thunder. But to be able to spread those, and the people that you have brought together under the collection of Savory. I know some of your founders. Without naming some of the brands, like you and I have had conversations where I said, hey, you really should look at this brand. And you went, I'm meeting them tomorrow. We are aligned on some of them because some of the brands that you have collected, I think, are amazing. I think they're all amazing brands that now that I've seen under the covers, I'm like, wow, these are even better
Really
than I
great
thought
brands.
from
Yeah.
just in an industry look where I go, wow, that's a great brand. Now I look at some of the stats, I'm like, that's even better than I thought.
So how was it finally decided that Savory was going to be your new team, that was going to be your new home? What was the deciding factor? Because I know that you were looking at other opportunities. Listen, recruiters in our industry, when we have great leaders in some of our brands, as you know, you get calls all the time. When you're a CEO of a thriving brand, you get calls by recruiters. And I know that you had other opportunities. We had talked about those opportunities. And honestly, any of those brands would have been lucky to have you, Klay. But you decided to come to Savory. We were honored that you decided to come to Savory. We're excited about the future like you are. But why Savory? What was the final deciding factor?
Yeah, there were three things. I called it the 3 Ps. The first one, it was people. So first of all, the founders, you guys, look, when you see the founders at the end of their own conference breaking down the tables.
Oh, God.
Yeah, no, there's things like that.
Yeah. That's true. That's us. That's who
You're
we are.
cleaning up at the end of your own conference.
Yeah.
That says something about the founders.
Yeah.
The level of people that you have brought into your team, your managing, your directors, your vice presidents, the analysts. I've been here talking to you at 7:00 and half your team is still here working.
Yeah.
You've got a dedicated group of people here at Savory supporting your brands. The platform is here to support the brands. Like it's very clear. So the people, and they're all dedicated.
Yeah. And they care.
They care.
Much. Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes those people, I have to fire them every night and say, you're rehired tomorrow morning, but you have got to
go home.
Yeah. No,
we don't require them to be here until 7 and 8. They are just here till 7
No,
and 8.
your people, it's very clear that they're dedicated, they're excited, they're happy, they're hardworking, like they're doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah, they are.
Purpose is the second P. Everyone is aligned around why they're here, why they're working so hard. We're here to support the brands. The restaurants are successful. We've worked here on a Friday night. These are operators supporting operators. It's not just lip service.
Yeah.
This is the values, the integrity. Those are some of the core values that you guys have.
Yeah.
The character, the things that are important. Those things mean something.
They do.
The purpose, the why you're here. It's not just about a transaction or a sale. It's about building enduring brands.
Yeah.
And that's important to me. It's not just about, hey, we're going to flip this and and sometimes that with whether it's a private equity or portfolio. And look, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's part of the equation.
It's part of it.
Yeah.
But it's not the equation.
Exactly. And then the last one is the platform. I mean, you've created a unique platform here with multiple brands in various degrees of their life cycle, whether it's 2 units or 100 units, and so this will enable us to leverage synergies that'll allow us to look at ways in which we can help each other. And it's very unique. It's unlike any other platform company in the industry. Look, this will allow us to amplify the energy. It'll allow us to do more. It'll allow us to bring in more. Will be, the platform itself is amazing. And the ability to touch more brands and to bring the experience that we talked about before to 13 plus and more brands. This will allow Savory to do more, to be more. It's going to be huge.
And that's what we're excited about the most. I think with Savory, first of all, we're in Salt Lake City, Utah. And I think that in the food and beverage industry for years, Salt Lake City, Utah has always been do people eat there? Are there even brands there? It's like, what are you talking about? I mean, this is a thriving metropolis. The economy here has been one that's been one of the fastest growing on the Forbes list for 8 years running.
We've built a few restaurants here.
It's thriving.
In Utah.
We built 145 restaurants here in the state. No one's done that in the state of Utah other than Shauna and I and our team. And as you look at it now, some amazing brands have come from this market too. Mm-hmm. And so I'm excited to have Savory be part of the ecosystem that's grown great brands out of here. Before us, though, before our time, the Cafe Rios of the world, the Cafe Zupas, the
Costa
Crumble
Vida.
Cookies, Costa Vida.
Mhm.
Now we have Mobetta's. Now we have Swig. There's just some incredible brands that have come out of the state. So it's fun to be established here. The difference between Savory versus all other private equity too. I don't know, Klay, you have a career working with private equity. So do I. Before I was actually in this industry, I was a tech CEO, had been backed by venture capital and also private equity. And I always remember them telling me, well, we're going to do all of these things for you. And when I was in this industry, which, by the way, that never came to pass. Whenever they gave you money, they didn't really come with much more than just the money. And I remember in this industry, when we were doing really, really well at the beginning of our career, building our bakery and cafe concept out as franchisees, we had all these private equity guys coming to us saying, hey, can we give you money? Can we give you money? We're like, well, yeah, sure. We'll use your money instead of only our own. What does it come with? Is there anything else you can help us with? Because we're just learning this industry. And they're like, well, we have this, hot shot that's been part of, XYZ brand for 10 years, and you can call them and ask them for advice. I'm like, advice? I need help. Like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And nobody existed that way. And so just like all of the other businesses I had created in the past, I saw an opportunity to make something that was kind of stupid in my mind better. And that's why I think that this is such a persistent thing, way beyond Klay Dover or Andrew or Shauna. I believe that Savory will exist for decades to come because there's always that new, cool, hip brand that needs what we have to offer. And that is the playbook for success, the team, the people, the platform, and the capital, right? Like, you need the capital because it's a capital intensive business and segment, but it just doesn't exist. And I don't see anybody else that's standing in our way. So Savory's not going to go stagnant. We're going to be growing 10 times over the next 10 years.
Well, I think it's also, look, I've worked with founders and private equity throughout my career. And the fact that we have both under the same roof makes the decisions so much more critical, so much more thoughtful. We're in the office here now, and, we can run across the room and go, hey, what about this? What about that?
Mhm.
And the ability to learn, frankly, more about the capital side, to be able to have the conversations about how are we allocating our capital? Are we getting the best cash on cash for these resources? That it's so unique. A lot of times with private equity, it's just like, okay, here's this investment. Now go on your way and, make us more money.
Yeah.
This is a partnership in which we are going to go out and go, is this the best way? You're going to be going, hey, we're looking at this brand and, hey, how are we allocating this capital? Like, this is it's all under one roof. Savory has both the capital, has the platform, the resources. It's an amazing thing that you guys have built, and
I appreciate that.
it's just so unique. It is a one of a kind opportunity, and I think if I'm a founder out there, there is no better place to house a brand.
No.
Because from a founder standpoint, we're going to care about your brand and growing it together.
A lot more than most. I can tell you that for sure.
I can tell you that firsthand.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've been there. And look, we're going to have skin in the game. We're going to want to make sure that we're putting the right resources in the right places. This is going to be a founder led. I mean, it is being led by founders.
Yep.
And the fact that you guys are founders yourselves, you're operators yourselves. I mean, this is a first class organization where if I'm a restaurant operator out there and I want to grow a brand and my brand, this is where I would come, obviously.
I appreciate that. I was going to say, one of the things that my LPs or our LPs have asked me in the past is, where do you spend most of your time? What is your focus? And I said, for 29 years now, I've woke up in the morning thinking I've got to go grow my business from this level to the next level today, even if it's just by a centimeter, millimeter, or a mile. And I still think that way. As a private equity GP, managing director of the fund, I still think in my mind every day, I've got to go work on that brand to grow it because I'm an operator. That's just how it is. When most private equity firms, they wake up and say, I've got to go and get this board deck prepared or come up with this financial metrics so we can review it and figure out what follow-on financing is. We do that here, but that's not where my mind naturally goes to. It goes to, of course, growing a brand. So we are true operators, have always been that way. And I don't think I can ever really get it out of my blood. I'm an operator. Another big announcement for 2026, we did our first large close to Fund 3 for Savory. $110 million. Our last fund was 100. The previous fund before that was 100. So we've matched and exceeded all expectations of Fund 3 in a very difficult fundraising environment and year. So we're excited. We have money to spend. We're looking for new brands and founders to partner with. We're continuing to raise. We'll be raising throughout the mid part of this year. And so we expect to have a very successful Fund 3 and a very successful future in the next couple of years as we deploy out capital. So another big announcement for Savory here coming into 2026. So moving forward, I think that the key takeaways, I think, for all of us, and I'd love to hear what you think, in 2026, what you expect to have happen, like what you foresee happening. For me, we're going to take much bigger swings. Savory is going to be swinging much bigger. It doesn't mean that we're going to go buy bigger brands. We're just going to be a little bit more loud. We're going to be swinging a little bit harder, and we're going to be making some real strategic investments into not only our staff, our team, our platform, but also into brands. And of course, more support overall. This is an institutionalized platform, but we're disciplined around keeping it founder-led, like you had said earlier. That's something that appealed to you when you came over, and I just want to make sure that sticks very clear in people's minds that we are founder. These brands are founder-led and Savory supported.
We say we're founder-centric.
Founder-centric. So, what do you feel in 2026 is something that you're most excited about, and then Shauna, you too. Most excited about.
Most excited about. Okay, I'll go first, Klay. Give you a second to think on this. So 2026, my word of the year. I don't know if I'm ready to announce it, but I think I have decided.
You're announcing the word of the year.
I know. Is welcome. And what I am most excited about for 2026 is welcoming Klay to the team, welcoming new ideas. I think a sign of intelligence is when you can change your mind. And I love when my mind can be changed, or when my mind is changed. And I have a feeling Klay's going to do that this year a lot. And I'm excited about that. I'm excited for Klay to challenge the status quo and to help us elevate, borrowing from my word of the year last year. And there's so many other things that I'm excited to welcome challenges to. 2025 was a challenging year. And what I know for sure is challenging years make for great operators. And our brands have felt it, but they've never been better operators than they are today because of the challenges since COVID and all of the unpredictability since then. So I'm excited for 26 and welcoming, hopefully, the tailwinds.
Bring on the tailwinds.
Yes.
Nice.
I'm excited about that too.
I'm welcoming the tailwinds.
That's awesome. No, I think 2026, I'm excited about, obviously joining and getting involved and being immersed 100%. I'm excited about joining a Speeding Bullet brand. That's going to be obviously fun. I think that what I'm looking forward to is merging culture and discipline together. I think that a lot of times brands think that they cannot be successful with just, metrics and KPIs, et cetera. I believe that culture is a big part of successful brands. When you look at the brands, some of the brands that we talked about earlier, culture is part of it. And you can be successful. Now, it doesn't mean that it's just all culture, but it's culture, discipline, and performance. I think that each of our brands here at Savory, while we leverage the efficiencies and the synergies, and we find the areas in which we can, obviously why we have a platform, each brand is going to be unique. I had a chance to sit down with Brandon, one of the founders of Via 313, one of our brands, and he told me the story, and it was amazing. I'm getting chills just thinking about it. I spent an hour with him in Austin, and him telling me that story changed my perception of that brand. It was cool. I'm literally getting chills right now. Totally different. And I've been to the brand. I've been to this, toured, but to have the founder sit and tell me the story about him and his brother and his mom and Detroit and Austin, now I've got a totally different perspective on that brand. And I think that to unearth some of those stories and to integrate them into each one of our brands and make them unique, and whether it's Bonnaroo down in St. George, I'm super excited about that brand. Amazing brand.
Amazing brand.
Or
amazing
Hawkers,
product.
Caleb and that team, amazing.
Yeah.
Sicilian, Chef Joey, if you've met him, we've got amazing people within the platform, within the brands, and how do we unearth them and bring that culture out and integrate those into the brand? those are traffic driving stories that will translate into sales, which translate into profits, which will just flow all the way through and create opportunities to grow the brands even more so. So it's so
awesome.
Exciting.
Oh, I just added to my list storytelling from Klay.
Yeah,
more storytelling.
No,
in
better
our
storytelling.
brands.
I think is definitely one.
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you think about the brands, with Velvet, it was intentional that it was a rebellious brand, and you could
very rebellious.
Think about that brand, like a international rebellious kind of attitude around tacos. Like we leaned into that day one, and I can show you the map that said this is how we're going to grow this brand. Same with Raising Cane's. I mean, like when Todd laid out to us, here's what I want to do, and I'm going to have restaurants all over the world. You're kind of like, okay, this is just chicken fingers. No, this is what we're going to do. And to have people buy into that and believe, I absolutely believe they will be the largest restaurant concept one day.
I believe so.
I believe it.
I believe that they'll surpass Chick-fil-A personally.
They will.
Yeah.
They will. They will. So it's like, when people say like, oh, can you believe it? I'm like, yeah, absolutely.
Of course, I was there.
I was there. I helped lay out the original website.
Yes.
The story, the pictures. Yes. So I think that once you lay those things out and put that brand, that personality around it, and then you have the discipline and you have the operators and you've got, I've seen the discipline that Savory brings, like the metrics, the KPIs, the operators. You've got great operators. I've toured some of the restaurants. They are spotless. They are clean. They are tight. Like I'm excited about just expanding. And like you said, force multiplying some of these brands are going to be amazing.
So my word of the year is excellence.
Yes.
I want to do better work with fewer things that I'm focused on at Savory. And one of the main things I was looking at was leadership in our brands to make sure that they're ready for the growth and ready for the storytelling and the marketing and the playbook that we're going to apply. But excellence, I'm excited about an excellent year in execution across the board with Savory. So moving to some fun. So I just want to ask you a couple quick questions. And I'm going to actually include you too, Shauna, on some of these last ones because I want people to know your answers too. Okay. So things you're going to miss the most about Dallas, because Dallas, listen, when people go there, like, oh my gosh, it's amazing, I want to move there. Well, you just moved away from there. Yeah. So what's one thing that you're going to miss the most about Dallas?
23 years of experiences and memories of raising a family and kids. I'm an empty nester now. So it's the
memories.
Yeah, the memories.
Okay. What are you most excited about here living in Utah now?
Creating new memories, creating a legacy here with Savory. Yeah. I mean, it's an empty page. It's an adventure to be written.
It's a little bit more mountainous here.
Oh, it's beautiful. I mean, I'll tell you, there's these giant mountains everywhere. You can't get lost.
No, you can't get lost. I'll go that way.
Yeah, I mean, you can totally find your way around, and all the streets are numbered, so you know where you are.
And you go to Dallas, you're like, I don't know where anything. Am I going north, west?
Yeah, no, you just get lost. East, it's all flat.
One word to describe Savory from your perspective in 2026. One word.
Oh, world class. I mean, world class, unique. I think of, I mean,
those are two good words. I'll take those.
Yeah.
World class, unique. Early mornings or late nights, Klay?
Oh, late nights for sure. You know, I was on
for sure late nights for me, Shauna.
For sure, late nights. Both. She is both. She is both.
It drives me nuts too. She'll go to bed when I go to bed immediately, like at midnight. Yeah. She'll be up at 5. I'm like, I can't even see straight.
Yeah,
crazy.
She is both.
I mean, I catch up. You know, it's the weekends. That's what weekends are for.
I can't keep up. Mountains or ocean?
I grew up in Southern California. I'm going to say oceans, even though I'm moving to the mountains.
Yeah.
But it's close.
Okay.
It's a close.
Ocean. Shauna?
Mountains.
Okay. I was actually surprised by that.
I grew up down in the South on the beach too, and it's so charming, but I love these mountains.
What's your favorite long drive snack in the car?
Baked Lays and a Diet Coke, or a Monster if it's a long drive.
Monster if it's late night drive.
Baked Lays.
Okay. You know, Baked Lays though, it's false marketing because you think that you're eating them, they're healthy. They're just as caloric.
Yeah. No.
They just taste good.
They just taste good.
Oh, I like those. Yeah.
What do you like?
What's the taffy thing that has the peanuts in it?
It's awful. Big hunk. I feel
like
you're going to break all your pretty teeth out of your mouth every time you're eating that. It's awful.
It's so good. It's so good.
Favorite movie of all time?
Gladiator.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
I haven't heard that one for a while.
Yeah, Gladiator?
Yeah. Well, no, that is their favorite. That's amazing. You?
We ask that question a lot in our culture interviews, and
we're just making sure the culture is going to fit here. It's fitting so far, so it's good.
Yeah, and we don't get Gladiator much.
That's what I'm saying.
Gladiator, Muscle Crowe.
Yeah, I know that's a good one.
Oh
good
my
one.
God.
You know, it's a classic. You've got mail.
You've Got Mail. That is on the TV quite a bit. That's pretty interesting.
It's the happiest movie you put on in the background, and you immediately have like this mood lift. It's great.
Mine throws people off. Mine's Meet Joe Black.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
It's a great one. And if you haven't seen it, everybody should just stop and watch that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Because it's a good one. Dream Vacation.
Anything where you can go and be integrated into the culture. Like we took a family vacation to Jamaica with the kids when they were younger, and we just
immerse yourself.
Yeah, we actually, we stayed at a resort, but every day, we stayed in a hut. No, but every day we went with a guide and just said, take us to wherever. It worked out well until he took us to the marijuana fields, to which my son was very intrigued by that. But, yeah, like eating on the docks, like pulling up lobsters, like
that's amazing.
Like it was like very.
So anywhere you can be immersed.
Yeah,
I like that. Actually, I like that answer.
Yeah.
You?
Anywhere warm with delicious food and my people.
Okay.
I'll go there. Yeah. Not cold.
And then lastly, what is your last meal if you had to pick?
Pizza. I love pizza.
Yes, that's mine too.
I love pizza.
Pizza.
I get
everyday pizza.
Yeah, pizza.
Lunch, dinner, snacks, all pizza.
I love pizza.
I would eat pizza every meal.
It's so hard to choose. Probably Italian. Good bowl of pasta. Something good.
My wife's new favorite is Via 313. I took the family there the other night, and I'm supposed to stop on the way back.
Very good.
Yeah. She's
so good.
Smitten.
Awesome.
Well, this is the first of many conversations that we're going to be having with Klay and with Shauna in the future. But congrats, Shauna. Welcome, Klay.
Thank you.
We appreciate you joining us.
Yes.
Let's do this.
Let's do it.